What is up, book nerds? My name is Hillary and welcome back to my channel. So today is one of my favorite videos to film for my channel, and that is my wrap-ups, and this is going to be September's wrap-up for you guys. And I'm on my 10th book for the month, and I am going to finish it because today is the 26th of September, so I have 4 more days to finish it, and I'm over halfway done with it. But yeah, so before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you guys will know when I'm posting. And I usually post once or twice a week, so that way you guys will know when my videos go up. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so the first book I'm going to talk about is one that I heard a lot of mixed reviews about it, and I really wanted something with a mystery twist to it, and I really wanted to read this one because I've had it for a while. But I think I'm going to end up unhauling it sometime because I will never read it again. And that book is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is about a girl who had an accident one year on her family's island that they own, and they go for vacation. And so finally, after 2 years, she gets to go back, and you're trying to figure out what actually happened because she has amnesia and cannot remember. I really enjoyed it. I can see where people get mixed reviews about it because there were parts where I got bored, but the way the end came about and you found everything out, I did get a little teary-eyed because it is sad. But I think I gave this a 4-star, and I wouldn't mind reading the second book to this duology and see if I like that one also. The next book that I listened to via audio books from my library, and that is Rush by Maya Banks. I'm trying to remember what this one was about. I know it had a lot of smut in it and all that, but oh yeah. So this is about a guy who is in love with his best friend's little sister. They are about 14 years apart, and he wants to start a relationship with her, but in order for her to be in a relationship with him, she has to sign this contract, kind of like 50 Shades of Grey. Now, as this relationship develops, Jace finds out, which is the main character's brother, and he's not too happy because Jace helped raise his little sister because their parents both died in a car accident when she was younger, and with him being 14 years older, he was able to be her legal guardian, and because he was in college at the time and was able to raise her. So in a way, this book is kind of, I don't know, weird because the main character guy, who is the love interest, has known the main character girl for a long time, since she was a teenager. So it's kind of weird aspect of the story, but I really did enjoy it. I had a blast reading it, and I gave this one 4 stars also. Actually, I gave We Were Liars 3 stars and gave this one 4 stars because I did like the whole story and all. So, but yeah, I would recommend it if you like smut in books or a age gap romance or kind of even a little bit toxic. The next book I'm going to talk about is one that I read with my mom and my sister-in-law for our book club, and that is the Bromance Book Club. This was my first time reading it, and I really enjoyed it. This was a 4-star read for me. I enjoyed the whole aspect of the woman wants to leave him because he's changed so much since they first got together, and he has to find a way to win her back. And by doing this, he is brought into this book club that one of his teammates helped form, and a whole bunch of other professional athletes are in this also who have had trouble with their marriage or girlfriends. And I thought it was funny at times, but then at other times I was like, okay, let's get to the point of this. But I am excited to read the next book, which is about, pretty sure his name is Mac, and because he was my favorite character out of this whole book. Yeah, he came off as an arrogant jerk at times, but he was funny also, and I can't wait to see the point of view of Gavin's sister-in-law because she was funny and she's kind of like a hard-headed person and knows what she wants in life. The next book that I read was actually a graphic novel that I gave 4 stars to, and I really enjoyed it. It was a Hades and Persephone story, and I wish it was a little bit more in detail, but that book is Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smith. I loved the artwork in this, but I wish, like I said, there was more dialogue in the story, and you got more of Hades and Persephone together in this. And I know Volume 2 came out, and I want to read that one and see what I think. And these books are chunkers. This one was 384 pages to read, and I don't even know what the next book, how big that one is. But I am excited to read the next one and see what I think about that, and to see where Hades and Persephone's goes. The next book that I read was one that it was a reread for me, and I read this one probably last year or a year and a half ago. And I read this while we took a family vacation to Florida, and it just gave me the whole atmosphere of the book while reading this. And I also watched the TV show while we were there and had a blast, and can see the similarities and the differences between them. But I did love this one again and gave it 4 stars, and that book is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. This is about a girl named Belly who is finally at a stage in her life where she feels that she is beautiful, and she's gotten out of that ugly stage of her preteen era. We've all gone through that. I know I have. And just seeing her evolve and not take crap from Connor or Jeremiah or her brother in this book just cracks me up. I loved Connor in this book. He goes through so much, and rereading it, I picked up on a lot more from him, and you can just see the heartache he is going through with his mom and his relationship with his dad. And I like the aspect that you got more of Connor and his dad's relationship in the show more than the book. But I did enjoy this. I will recommend, if you're reading this, watch the show while you're reading it, because it is episodes, and I feel like it just gives it more details to the book and makes it more enjoyable. So then after that, we came home, and I decided to pick up the book Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby, and I gave this one 4 stars, and I really enjoyed this. This is about 2 dads who were both ex-cons, and both of their sons have been murdered because they are married and in a relationship, obviously, and then they have a little girl who ends up coming and living with Ike, who is Isia's father in this book. And so the 2 dads decide to take it under their own wings to figure out what happened to their son and who did it, because the cops decided to make it a cold case and they want justice for their sons. But as you're going through this story, you're seeing how they treated their sons when they were alive, because they didn't agree with their lifestyle or the people who they interacted with or was in a relationship with. And that just breaks my heart, because I couldn't imagine being a parent and doing that to my own kids. And so you're seeing them come to terms with the way that they were towards their son and coming to accept the part that they did not agree with when they were alive. And I really, really liked this book. It was emotional, and I loved how you got more background on the dads and what they went through when they were in jail and what they were going to after their sons were killed and how they dealt with their grief. I would totally recommend this to anyone because it is more of a mystery read and you're just kind of guessing the whole time what happened. The next book that I listened to was Dirty Billionaire by Megan March. This was a 4-star read for me. It is a very smutty book, but I really enjoyed it. So you have your 2 main characters, Holly and Creighton, who end up hooking up one night randomly, and she leaves when he is sleeping. And so for him to find her, he makes an ad for her to meet him on New Year's Eve so they can go and get married and he can keep her in a way. But the only reason why Holly agrees to this is because she is a country music artist who is new to the scene and does not want to be in a fake relationship anymore with the country music's biggest star because he is very scandalous. Alright, so my camera shut off. I don't know how much that got, but Creighton is a guy who is a tough guy, and he is hard to get along with certain people, and he had a hard life growing up. But I am excited to listen to the second book and to see where their relationship goes from there, because it is a cute story and it's very smutty. So if you want that easy to listen to or read smutty book, this is the one. This is only 204 pages, so it's a quick read also. The next book that I read was a highly anticipated book for me this year, and I was so excited that my Walmart had it, so I picked it up. And that book is Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert. This was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. Katie Robert does smut so well, especially when it is like male, female relationships. And this is a story about Helen, who is Zeus's, now the new Zeus's sister, but obviously she was the old Zeus's daughter. And she always had an image to keep up in society, and tries out to become Eros, which is part of the 13 in this book. But in the beginning, you find out that her brother wants to put her up as the prize for whoever wins Eros gets to marry Helen, and she is not down for that. So she decides to go behind her brother's back and to enter this competition to try and win Eros. And while she's there, she ends up in a relationship with Achilles and Patroclus, and it is so good. You watch them just grow together, and Achilles is such a jerk at times, but him and Helen have like that opposites attract thing, and Patroclus and Helen were friends when they were kids until Patroclus left Olympus. So it's just fun seeing their friendship come back and to see them grow, how they grew as characters and to become lovers. I really enjoyed this. I love Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus series, and I can't wait for the next one. The next book that I read, I had such high hopes for it, and it just let me down, and I wish I would have loved it. And I gave it 2 stars, and that book is Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I actually had the first 3 books in this series, and I'm not even going to read the next 2 books because I really disliked this one, and I felt like I wasted my time reading it. I mean, for this girl to get kidnapped by aliens, and then the spaceship crash lands, and so she goes out to try and find food, water, civilization on a whole different planet, and then she meets Vectal, and they automatically start hooking up, and they can't even communicate because they have a language barrier. Just felt so unrealistic to me, obviously, and it was such a quick, instant love thing that I did not like, and I wish I would have liked it. And I think it was so long. I think it could have just ended at like a lot sooner, like maybe 50 pages sooner, because the extended scenes I felt like were pointless. And that's all I'm going to say about this. This is definitely going to be in my next unhaul pile, and I can't wait to get rid of it. And the last book I'm going to be talking about is a library book, and I am enjoying reading it right now. I am just over halfway done with it, and that book is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I am really enjoying this book, and I think it's going to be a 4 or 5 star read. Not 100% sure yet, but I am loving how it's kind of like a slow burn where you lead up to where they start hooking up and they're finally in a relationship type of thing, and I enjoy that. The Billionaire series is about these 3 brothers whose grandpa passed away, and they own Dreamland, which is just like Disneyland, Disney World. And they each have their own task to complete before they have their part in the business. And so this one focuses around Rowan and Zahar's story, and I'm loving their opposites attract, enemies to lovers, and I'm really enjoying it. And you can tell that Rowan has been through a lot when he was younger, and Zahar brings his child inner child out of him, and you get to see that, and just seeing them evolve as a couple and friends is amazing, and I can't wait to finish this and see what I think. But that is it for this video. If you guys have read any of the books, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to know what you guys thought of the books, especially if you read Planet Barbarians, what your thoughts were or what your star ratings were. And as always, keep on reading, people. Bye!